So I honestly thought that mansplaining, manspreading, and all the other feminist and intersectional jargon stayed in 2015 after they saw it lost them the election. All this craziness I thought was gone, but it seems like they're making a comeback, at least by this Hollywood Reporter story, which is, by the way, approved by NewsGuard. Um, for those of you that don't know, the vice presidential debate happened yesterday, uh, and in my opinion, and in the opinion of many, Mike Pence won the debate because he was very, very calm, spoke to the facts, and hammered Kamala Harris on her bad record. And whenever he was faced with a tough question, he quickly sidestepped it and kept pushing his agenda, which did well in the debate. Obviously, Kamala has a very bad record when it comes to criminal prosecution, where she prosecuted a lot of African Americans, or black, as I was going to say, on minor drug offenses, which doesn't bode well with the newer leftist crowd, the younger leftist crowd, who are all for not only criminal reform but prison abolishment. So it doesn't paint her in a very good light. So yeah, we're going to read this story, but it seems like now debating a woman is mansplaining. Feminists have finally reached the point where you can't debate a woman. They're so fragile. They're such a protected class that you can't even debate them. Let's read the story, and we're gonna go over a few videos as well. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the future videos. And make sure to leave a like and share this video right now. Let's start. The California senator's poise and firmness made for a satisfying contrast to the vice president's smug condescension and interruptions, but an insect stole the show. It's very, very funny to see the secondary headline so out of touch and quite the opposite of what happened, because obviously me as a right-wing guy, I saw Mike Pence winning the debate, and as long as somebody is not completely obliterated like Kamala Harris did back when she debated Tulsi, most of the people think their side won. That's why a lot of the Democrats think Kamala won, and a lot of the Republicans think Mike Pence won, because they're the candidates obviously speak in frequencies that fits their bases. But those of us who are aware of the larger image and all the topics that are up for this election know who actually won. Okay, so in my opinion, Mike Pence not only won because he made Kamala look bad in front of a crowd, which again was about the criminal reform, but he also made the Trump haters who hate Trump for being bombastic, over the top, and very inflammatory look really good, because Mike is an extreme juxtaposition to Trump. He's so calm, so collected, very, very polite, which again brings in the more polite Republican crowd and the more general crowd that cares about political prestige and decency, again compared to Trump, who's the anti-establishment candidate. The funniest thing about the secondary headline is that they said Mike Pence was smug and condescending, while actually Kamala came off as the most condescending politician probably in the history of any of the debates, and that says something. I don't know if it's a female Democrat issue, because it seems like Hillary Clinton did it as well in the last election. I saw some of it in the few clips that I actually caught of Elizabeth Warren. I don't know if they think that coming off as a sassy Yas Queen character is helpful. Maybe to the, again, younger left-wing base who post all the screenshots of Kamala making those weird faces. But it doesn't play well with the right-wing crowd, not even the centrist crowd. People don't like condescending, smug people in general. I don't think Pence came off this way, because again, he said it very calmly, he was very polite, he let Kamala even take some of his time to answer the questions that he hammered her on, and obviously she got away with it. She sidestepped those questions, and Mike Pence did so as well, but he did it more elegantly and nobody called him out on it, while Kamala was constantly called out by Mike Pence, and that's why he in my opinion won the debate, because while both of them did the politicians squirm, Mike did it more successfully because nobody called him out on him, and he called out Kamala several times for avoiding the fracking question, the question about packing the Supreme Court, which people are not big fans of. So let's read the rest of the story and we'll watch a couple of videos. The first and only presidential debate of the 2020 election could have been a taste of normalcy, and now exotic blandness in a brain-melting, sanity-bombarding year. We all can agree with that. After all, Mike Pence's main political asset, other than the network of evangelicals that he helped usher into Trump's base, is supposed to be the velvet-voiced, calm and XY chromosomed reasonability that he exudes while lying to the American people with one side of his mouth and selling them on extremist ideas with the other. So we obviously know the bent of Inku Kang, who wrote this story. Not a big fan of Pence. Let's see. I'm trying to find the part which was most egregious. I think it was the part about the facts. Yeah. So, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It was, in other words, an uncomfortable spectacle of unconscious gendered dynamics. They're already making it about gender, playing out in real time. It's safe to say that Harris handily won the debate, though I'm not sure it counts as winning when the opponent is a professional toady. When he wasn't mimicking Trump's tendency to project his own flaws onto others, I don't know what they're talking about. Quote, "You're entitled to your own opinion, you're not entitled to your own facts," which again plays very well with his base. It's a great quote. And he hammered, he said it a couple of times every time he caught Kamala lying. And the story says Pence appeared obnoxious, condescending, and not altogether present in the moment as he ran roughshod over the two women on the stage and kept addressing issues the moderator had moved on from. Okay, like I said, he kept addressing issues the moderator moved on from. That's how he sidestepped those questions and nobody called him out, and he used that time to hammer Kamala for sidestepping those questions that way. That's when he kept using that sentence that I think ran really, really well with the crowd watching the debates. I think the one specific time that he used it so well is it was when he talked about the Green New Deal and the fact that the Biden presidency, the Biden administration, is against fracking. Kamala said they won't ban fracking, that the Biden presidency is not against fracking, and we have a couple of videos for you to watch. So this is Biden talking about fracking.
No new fracking.
We are going to get rid of fossil fuels.
Well, like, what about, say, stopping fracking and stopping new pipe?
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate.
No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period. Ends. Number one.
3 consecutive American presidents have enjoyed stints of explosive economic growth due to a boom in oil and natural gas production. As president, would you be willing to sacrifice some of that growth, even knowing potentially that it could displace thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers in the interest of transitioning to that greener economy?
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
No new fracking. No more.
So now we know Biden is against fracking. Let's see what Kamala has to think about it.
Practice.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah. And
Okay, so they're obviously against fracking, or at least said so when it was politically expedient for them. So we know it's not gonna play well with energy workers. obviously them going after their jobs. And the thing that really proves to me that Mike won the debate is now that they're asking for the next presidential debate to be in I was going to say Zoom meeting. It's probably going to be another app, but it's basically gonna be a virtual debate, which plays well for Biden because they can hold up all his talking points, whether it's on cards or a teleprompter that he could read off of, and they don't need to drag him to hell so he could perform well like he did in the last debate. Now, if you ask me the bottom line of this debate, did it affect anything? No, most people who are watching the debates are going to walk off thinking their sides won, maybe disliking them a little bit when they see the points like Kamala being in charge of black people being unproportionately arrested for minor crimes and prosecuted, but they're still gonna vote them in the end. The change is probably 0.01% to the votes because not a lot of people watch the debates, let's face it. And the people who do, like me, are already we already have our mind made up about our candidates, so it's not going to change voices or the votes, or the opinions. So it's insignificant, honestly, other than the presidential debate, which again is diminishing because a lot of people are not watching it right now, even during the pandemic and during a quarantine. We'll have to wait and see how it affects, but it seems like it doesn't affect it that much. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.